Okay, just starting a random project today. It's been a project that's been meaning to happen for ages. This is my daily driver, which hasn't really been on any videos. I've been driving this car for a year now. It's a TU 1.6. It's done 160,000 mile, and to be honest with you, the engine's pretty much knackered. The gearbox is absolutely knackered. So it really needs to be changed. It keeps failing the emissions. It's burning God knows how much oil. The gearbox is genuinely going to fall out the car if I keep driving it any further. So yeah, this is the weekend where we're going to hopefully pull this one out and drop a new one in. Stick a 16 valve out of a VTS in it. It's always good when transmissional is a silver paste on your finger.
Wishbone on the driver's side is off. Darren's just gone to get the 1/4 inch socket set to do the middle bearing. Then the drive shaft will be out. Passenger side wishbone is out and drive shaft is out, and that's it so far. Right, update. Battery box removed. Disconnected the wiring looms, disconnected the ECU. Darren's now disconnecting the power steering pipes. Exhaust is out of the way. Throttle cable is seized in place. Clutch cable is disconnected. I'm now about to go at the gear linkages. Darren's dropping spanners everywhere.
Oh, I've never seen that happen before.
That's she's just undone?
No, she's fucking started to undo that.
Oh. What else? Oh, Darren's going to do that. He's going to undo the bottom engine mount, and I'm going to pull the coolant.
Bottom engine mount's off.
Alright, I'll be pulling the coolant in a minute.
I think coolant's the last thing, then it's...
I'll disconnect the heater matrix as well,
Fuel
before
hoses.
we forget that one. Fuel hoses.
Oh my goodness, this power steering hose is...
Power steering hose might be cut in a minute.
I don't want to cut it really because I need to reuse it.
And then we'll be pulling the engine.
Okay, we're at the point of pulling it out here now. Just hooking up the crane. We've not got the winch here at the moment, so we're just going to hook it out with the left hand side. You've got to take them out at a bit of an angle in these cars, so we normally have a strap and a winch. Just going to, pretty much shackle up, take top engine mount off, and pull the bugger out.
What's she like? Fucking hell, Chris, I'm trying to focus the video.
Get down with...
Right.
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, I did. Sure? Wow. Oh, fuck it, I think I did. The worst is risk it. Is it recording?
Yeah.
I say I did. Right, we're just working on the engines on the floor at the minute. Chris is just pulling the trans off this old engine because it's got a brand new clutch in it. So I want to.
Won't let me use a plasma cutter. I'm not happy.
I'm just here working on the other engine here, trying to make the engine mounts sort of line up. We're going to have to use some bits off the new one and bits off the old one, a bit of hole modifying and drilling and whatever's needed really, just to make sure that we can get the 306 engine mount onto this engine and still have clearance for like the cam belt. I'm going to have to modify the arm as well because it fouls the cam belt covers and stuff like that. Right, okay, we're working on the engine here. We're having quite a few issues with getting things to fit. The engine mount I've had to modify here. You have to modify the arm, it's all touching the head. I've had to modify the cam belt covers. And we're just working now on the belt situation because obviously the 16 valve engine has got sort of what I would call a normal width cam belt, whereas the 8 valve has got a very narrow cam belt, which means that this boss hub at the bottom here, which the aux pulley, sort of crank pulleys sit on, is further away from the engine block. So it's meaning that all the belts aren't lining up. I'm trying, if I can, to retain the 8 valve alternator at the rear, power steering and air con, because it all works, and I'd rather not have to convert it to electric power steering, and it's just a farce not to. So we're seeing if we can get this to work here at the moment. We've swapped the pulleys round. It's a 5 rib belt on one and a 4 rib on the other, but it's only running a power steering pump. I would say it's probably going to be okay as a 4 rib, so I'm not too worried about running that as a 4 rib. Really it's just going to have to sort of bodge it together and see if it's in line. We've got the alternator lined up and that one's going to drive, so we need to get the other pumps on and see what's going to happen here, which Chris is just holding in there. Whether there's a more convenient solution that is possible to this, I don't know, but these are the only parts that I've got, so we're going to have to make them work. The engine is largely put together now. I'm working on wiring outside, so that's all the sheathing and crap I've stripped off. So what I've got here is the original 306 8 valve loom, which I've not touched yet, and this is the VTS loom. So what I'm basically doing, well, I've actually done now, I've finished, is separating what I call like the management side of the loom. So basically everywhere from the ECU back, so I've got basically just what's needed for the engine to run, and then basically isolating all the wires that go from that side of the loom, as I call it, to the loom connector stroke the rest of the loom, and finding all of those wires and then pinning them out to either the ECU or the main relay, or there's a couple that tee into sensors, for example vehicle speed, so that then I end up with basically a bunch of wires, which is what I need to then splice into the 306 loom once I've already removed the management side of this loom. So basically I need to get this loom back to this status, sack that off from this loom and replace it with that, so I end up with a 306 loom with VTS management. There's several wires we don't need, for example the immobiliser set here. You've got immobiliser power and then 2 datas from the BSI inside the car. None of that's needed. The ECU will be unlocked, so that won't be needed. I forget what else we've got here, but there's some other wires I won't need. And then obviously over here we've effectively got permanent lives coming in, an ignition live coming in, and what else have I got? This one, oh, engine, that's the engine management light. And I've also got some more wires here somewhere which I've lost. Oh no, they're over here, sorry, yeah. Then we've got a speedo return, a tachometer return, and somewhere around here's the fuel pump output, which I've lost there. This is fuel pump output from the main relay. So it's really just a case of pinning it out, or belling it out with a multimeter, just working out which wire's which. It does take a minute or two, but it's fairly simple once you get into it. Right, making a few steps forward here. Just come inside now with the wiring. I've got what I need, so I've just plugged everything in. So we've got the main sensors all in, coil pack. So yeah, we've got everything plugged in up top, all the sensors, ECU, main relay, and then I've got all my tails here to splice into the OEM loom once I've sacked off what I don't need. We're just going to sort of route it now. The ECU must be on the other side on the saxo because the lengths of the wires are all wrong. I want to try and keep the ECU in the original place just because it will look nice and tidy. So probably have to extend some wires, shorten some wires, and start taping it up, and then time to splice in the old loom. Okay, this loom is semi-complete on the vehicle now. So this is all of our tails for hooking in sort of to the car. That's basically all the wires you need going back to the car. In fact, a lot of them are replicas. There's 4 power feeds there. So then we've got the ECU and connector there, main relay connector here, and then it goes off to the engine to all the various places. Obviously I've just left it all rough here for a minute because there's going to be some extra wires, and then at the end we'll tape it and then put sheathing over it.